Namaskar. I welcome all of you today on our Women Empowerment series. We have Marie from Canada joining us here today, and she is from the health and wellness industry from Life Vantage. Marie, I welcome you here to share a few words about yourself.
Namaste, Naveen. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is very honorable. I really appreciate you. My name is Marie Claude, but you can call me Marie. I reside in Toronto, Canada. Almost all my life I've been here. Let's see, I'm a career mom in project management. My background is electrical engineering. I studied electrical combined with electromechanical, and then I got more into project management. I'm a mother of two older adults, one 21, she's third year university, finishing off business and law. And my son, he is 19 years old, finishing off his first year, actually finished off his first year business technology, moving on to second. As a mom, as a mom and a woman, I've always been an avid for health and wellness. I've grew up in a household where my mom used to be a clinical nurse. So she always valued the proper nutrition. However, she was more into pharmaceuticals and drugs. So everything, for every symptoms we have, there's a drug for it. And I find myself, as I got older, I kind of leaned more into nutrition and integrative way of living. So yeah, that made a huge part in my life. Health and wellness. As a mom, I always believe your body can heal you. You have to stop and find out, should there be a distress in your body? You should actually examine yourself further by understanding why the mishap is happening in the body. God gave us brains and a cognitive mind for us to think. So we owe it to ourselves to stop and think, to see what is the problem, instead of just running to the closest practitioner and find exactly what seems to be the problem. I value practitioners, I value medicine, but I do believe firsthand is look at the way you live, look at the way your lifestyle is going beforehand.
That's really awesome. Thank you for that. And I've also always seen through LinkedIn, where I got to know about you, that you're all about sharing kindness and sharing positivity with others. Another thing I did really notice is that you always give a chance for the other people to do self-reflection. Allow them to think what is actually going on in their lives. When we do self-reflection, there's a lot of things we learn about ourselves and what we can do to improve, or share gratitude for all the good things which is going on in your life. Why is it that you do that, that you want to share this information to others? What makes you do that?
It's been almost over a decade that I've been following great leaders and servant leaders like Deepak Chopra, Indian leaders like Sadhguru and many more. Whether it is from the Indian or the Western society, it's important to understand. It's important to understand ourselves. And diseases in general, in commonality, starts from the external forces. It doesn't really just happen in your body out of nowhere. Nothing happens from nothing, and that's something I love about the Indian philosophy. So you need to understand from a holistic perspective what exactly going on within our body, to see what is the problem before we go and ask for external help. So that's something that I have been following. I've been self-teaching myself for the past 10 years, and it served me well. It served me good, and it served my family well as well. It's not easy, because you need to be honest with yourself. And honesty in this time of age is not easy. We live in a time where we camouflage the truth and we say, hey, we're okay, we're fine, don't worry about it, we can just continue to do it. But that's not it. You need to stop and say something is wrong, something is not right. So yes, mindfulness matters for me. It's something that I have integrated this alongside with my meditations, my daily yoga. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so I do my regular meditation, journaling, and then my half an hour exercising before I really start my day, before I even start to touch any of the electronic gadgets around me. So this has been an integral part of my life. It's mindfulness, and your mind is your biggest weapon, but it can also be, so it's your biggest asset and your biggest weapon, which is your biggest liability if you don't know how to take care of it. It starts from here before it goes all over our body. And unless we work on this, we won't be able to deal with our symptoms or our health issues and whatnot. I'm no doctor. I'm an engineer, so I'm no doctor, but I've always been fascinated with the health and the science. And from all these great leaders, they all say the same common thing. It all starts in here. It's all in here first. So, and I love how many leaders say, many awesome servant leader like Deepak Chopra, when you have a disease, you are in dis-ease. Something is not ease about your body. Something is not right. You need to delve into it and look into it. But it all goes back into here. Meditation is the key point for you to control your well-being and your welfare.
That's so true. Is there any specific type of meditation or practice do you follow? How do you go about it? Because you're doing it as a daily practice. Do you have any guidance that you follow? Is it like a guided meditation, or you just sit down in silence? How do you go about it?
Yeah, there are several I have been practicing, but the one that I look for. So, for example, and this is very important. I mean, no matter how good you are, I notice you will end up sometimes, if you end up taking meditation for granted, you'll end up starting to think about recycled thoughts. And that. So I make an effort to so this particular meditation that I had today, it was about a certain word. I picked a word. And I stuck on that word the whole time. My eyes, when I closed my eyes, I was thinking about the shape of the words. So my word today was gratefulness. So it's just thinking like it was like my whole brain, my whole mind wrapped around that word. So yeah, sometimes I find, okay, let's just close everything and let's just think about this word, and that helped me a lot today. The next meditation, what I usually do is also mindfulness. So it's the mindfulness thinking, not thinking really. It's more like picking up a focal point, and I just so let's say if I'm looking, it so happened that there's a butterfly on my table, so I will stare at this butterfly, look at its shape, look at its wings. Sometimes I'll end up seeing a small little water drop on a leaf. So that just it relaxes me. It's something that I love to do. Meditation can be quite tricky because you'll end up taking it for granted if you're doing it for so many years, and then you'll end up being on an autopilot and start to feel a bit of a judging in the back of your head. I notice myself when I start doing this, I stop. And I'm like, okay, this is not meditating now. This is wrong. Time's up. Let's just change that. So yeah, I catch myself doing something that I'm not supposed to do. But it is wonderful when you meditate.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing how you practice meditation with us in your daily life. So as a person, as a woman who is working in the industry, I wanted to ask you or get information from you. How do you feel how important is the support that you need from your family and your friends and your colleagues to be able to work and take care of your family. There has to be a certain work-life balance, and women being mothers have to take care of children, the family, and at work. So in your own words, can you share how do you take care of that work-life balance?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm no newbie. I've been working for the past 20 years, so things have definitely evolved. 20 years later, it wasn't easy at my time when my kids were born. The luxury that the new mothers have right now, they should be very blessed and they should be very grateful. I didn't have any of this. I know with my daughter 21 years ago, I only had 4 months off before I went actually to work. So, I mean, even during that time, I had to find a nanny to take care of my kids and have like a housekeeper. But I was lucky. I've been able to find that, but it wasn't cheap. It did not come with the free cost. But I noticed now, 20 years later, 2 decades later, things have definitely changed. Things have definitely evolved for the women. Although I have to say we still have a long way to go for young mothers and career mothers. It's the fact that I noticed the mother now versus the mother back then. It's the awareness. It's now what matters the most. What really matters. So they are willing to sacrifice. I sacrificed quite a bit back then. There are many times where I could not go further with my career escalation to take it to the next level because my kids came first. So it was something that I had to pick and choose which one was more important. And coming to a point right now, I have no regrets. It was the right choices for me at that time. But nevertheless, I have to say, women still have to make sacrifices. But in terms of employers are seeing women who are demanding, not just requesting, demanding work-life balance is definitely not. It's definitely acknowledged and it's definitely seen. So it's something that cannot be ignored anymore. Awareness is definitely there. What I see is that we are moving in the right direction. We are definitely moving in the right direction. And I see the shared responsibility between the husband and wife now. The husband is more than willing to help out than 20 years ago, where it wasn't really available. So I see that changing. Although we're moving slowly, but we are moving in the right direction.
That's really positive news to hear from you, that we are moving in the positive direction where we're getting help not only from the organization or the company that we're working in, but at home too. There is more understanding, and that is very important for support, to be able to work better and to take care of home as a woman, to take care of our children, give them a better
Absolutely.
life. That is completely important. What message would you like to give to women and men out there as a person who follows a holistic well-being approach? I see that you practice yoga and you do your exercise every day morning. You follow good food habits. That's a great lifestyle, and also you're into mindfulness. So that's a complete set of a holistic way of living. That is what well-being is. That's what we follow in Yaha as well. So what is the advice that you wish to give to the people out there today in terms of well-being?
Absolutely. This is very important. Back in the days when somebody wants to lose weight, they'll go into a certain period of time to work out, eat right. So they finish, let's say, within 8 weeks or 10 weeks, they're done. And now they go back into their old habits. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. To integrate healthy living that is coupled with mental exercise, physical exercise, and emotional exercise, it is a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's a way of living. It's not something that you do it today and you forget about it tomorrow. It's the way you live. But by the way you live and the choices you make, you will end up filtering the noises around you by people who are not willing to be part of that. They just get off. So it's like shedding the weight that was sitting on you, and it comes off of you slowly. The same thing with people that were just there as noises and now they're no longer existing, but it does make a huge difference in your life. So that sets the trend for you, your well-being, your existence, by getting rid of all these noises around you. Whoever had similar interest or similar lifestyle as you sticks around. The people who are not like you, they fade away. And it's amazing how we work, because you don't need to put any force or any resistance on this. It just happens naturally. It works naturally. So this is something that I've always believed in, and that's something I've always taught my kids as well. So having a way of living, having a set way of living determines not only the quality of life that you're going to be getting into, but how awesome your life is going to be by clearing up all the noises in your life and thinking better, clarity better, imagination's better, creativity is there. So it all matters. Actually, including when it comes to the way of living too as well, is the usage of electronic devices. So that's very important. I have to say, I'm still working on this, but it's very important to close a window. Let's say you're working at work with the emails, with work, with after a certain time, you need to shut it off. You need to shut it off, shut everything off. When it comes to social media, after a certain time. So it's implanting the intention in your way of living every single day. You really, I mean, at the end of the day, you really cannot be on an autopilot mode anymore. You need to have clear intention every single day. I equate this, and I love how Deepak Chopra says, I equate this to a bird. If you look at a bird, I mean, I'm always looking at these birds that comes in my backyard, at the front, or anywhere else. If you see them, they'll just stop, and they're always alert. They're always awake. They're not sleeping. They're not slouching. They are awake and alert. That's how we have to be at all time, to minimize the havoc in your life and to minimize the noises. You need to make sure the quality that you're living in is the quality that you're looking for.
That's really awesome. You've covered all the points there and given to us in a nutshell on what we have to follow in life, including mindfulness, and make sure that we reduce the noise in our life and in our mind. Everything lies in our hands. It's our, our choice end of the day. And we have to learn to choose wisely, choose mindfully, to make sure that we can take our life way in a very positive way forward for us and for the people around us. And like you said, it's high time that we realize that when we follow a set positive pattern, people or situations which need to follow or will follow us will be positive as well, and which don't really serve the purpose of the higher good will fade away. And the best way forward is to accept life as it is. So thank you so much for joining us today on this series and
Thank you.
sharing your knowledge and information with us. It's been really nice having you over with us. Thank you once again, Marie. Namaskar.
Thank you, Naveena. It was wonderful. It was an amazing time, and I'm so glad I took this interview with you. You are a beautiful soul. Thank you so much.